Hi everyone, good evening. We are here for the 10 weeks of Yuktahar project and we are finishing week 4 today. As the protocol, week 4 ka progress form, basically the weekly progress form, irrespective of the phase that you are in. वो weekly progress form, I've already put it in the bio. So there's a link in my bio. Bio is the my profile page, the top of the profile page on Instagram. That is where you will find the link, which is for the progress form. And please fill the progress form, because only when you fill the progress form, I get to know you as the participant of this project, and I am able to answer your concerns if you send us any, and basically gauge your progress and try to follow up with you, invite you over for the Saturday candid chats, and lots of other things. So the progress form ka link जो है वो bio में है, and जो stories हैं, Instagram stories, उसमें भी है. So somebody is saying that ma'am, yesterday you went off. Yes, I was traveling and I tried my level best to have the best network so that I could connect to you guys, but as just luck had it, we just had a very short live, and then there was a little network issue. So any which ways, I'm back to Mumbai, and there won't be any other network trouble, at least for the nice rest of the weeks of the project that we have. Okay, so please fill this form, and please let us know that you have filled the form, so that we can always get in touch with you for any concerns that you have, any questions that you have. Okay, also tomorrow we have our Friday expert talk series. So we have a very brilliant Ayurvedic doctor who is joining me for the expert talk series. So please do join me live at 6 p.m. IST tomorrow. His details and what if you want to know about him, that is there in my post on Instagram feed, so you can go there and check. And if you have any questions for him that you want to be addressed, to be specifically answered, then please leave your questions in the comments. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing tea, and today I'm going to just carry forward this conversation all about tea. And जैसा कि मैंने yesterday बताया था, I'm just going to brush this up फटाफट, that when we talk about tea, we don't have to really think about the color of the tea, whether it's green tea that we should have or whether it's a matcha tea. Somebody asked me in the comments yesterday, what about matcha tea? So matcha tea is nothing but just a form or another version of green tea. So we don't have to go into that aspect, because in essence, tea, when it is plucked from the garden, it's the one single plant, it's the one single leaf that is plucked. It's the same. The treatment which is given to that leaf henceforth results in different kinds of green tea, black tea, and many other tea. So it is not that one tea is better than the other. It's just that they are different, and they all have great antioxidants. They all have great polyphenols, flavonoids, which all have great anti-inflammatory properties, and hence they should be included in your phase 1, phase 2 plan. But looking at them from a weight loss aspect, or thinking of them as something magical potion that I'm going to go on drinking 4 to 5 cups of green tea and I'm going to lose weight, that is something that you should not indulge into. Okay, so the first part is that about the right quality. So when I say right quality, please stop thinking about tea in terms of green tea or in terms of weight loss and etc, etc. Only think about tea in terms of the quality. When I say quality, what I mean is that always try to get your chai patti, whether it's green or whatever you want. There's a oolong tea, there is white tea, there's so many varieties of tea. So whatever you want to indulge into, ensure that you get the right quality, which you will get from which is garden fresh. So basically, which are the tree growing regions in India. So there's Assam, which is a tree growing region of India. Then there is Nilgiri, there's Kangra Valley, and there's Dazzling. All of these places grow some fabulous, fantastic tea. And what you should really endeavor is to try to get hold of some garden fresh tea, which is like grown fresh, which is not those branded ones which you see TV commercials of. people feeling energetic after drinking a cup of tea. वैसे जो commercials दिखाते हैं TV पे, those are not a very great quality tea, let me tell you. So the great quality tea is one which will probably not be having a TV commercial, which you will have to procure from somebody who owns a garden. So if you can have that kind of a thing, then that is where you should put your effort into. Please don't waste your effort into differentiating tea into green, black, oolong, matcha or whatever it is, and then try to feel that, okay, I'm going to drink this and I'm going to lose weight. So number one is the right quality, which is about getting the right fresh quality of tea, irrespective of its color, from the right source, which is basically, in short, garden fresh. The other point is the right timing. So when I say right timing, a lot of you people posted these comments yesterday on the post asking, ki, can I have tea first thing in the morning? Then there was somebody who was asking me, ki, how much time gap should I have between my meal and the tea? And then there was also somebody who was asking me about adding the milk to the tea. So can we add milk to the tea? So I'm going to talk about these three questions. So number one, when we say the right timing, know that the right timing of the tea is definitely not the first time when you wake up. The first time when you are waking up, you do not want to directly start your day with a stimulant, and that is something that you will want to avoid. For the same reason, you are not going to have tea post sunset as well. So avoid having tea say post 6 p.m. or 5:30 to be on the safe side, because then again it is going to interfere with your deep sleep, because it acts as a stimulant and can interfere with the process of deep sleep. However, there can be people who have tea post sunset and they feel that, oh, I sleep pretty well. That is again something that they feel, because it's just like a in scientific language we say that it's a eye shut sleep. So it's just that your eye is shut and you feel that I slept, but it would not be the kind of deep restorative sleep that your tissues and cells and your organs need for deep recovery. Therefore, for all good reasons, you should avoid tea after 5:30, 6 p.m. basically post sunset, and you should not be having it first thing in the morning as well. So what then becomes the right time to have tea is basically say 20-25 minutes after your main meal. So if suppose you like having tea along with breakfast, then the better way to do it is that you finish your breakfast say by 9, and then you can have a cup of tea by 9:20, 9:30. The same goes for coffee as well. The second good option is like you finish your lunch by say 12:31, and then you can have your tea or coffee by 1:30. So something like that is essentially a good way. For people who like to have it in the evening, again you can have something like a 3 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever time you have your snack, evening meal. You can have that first, and then say if you finish your evening meal by 3, then you can have your chai or coffee at 3:30. Or if you finish at 4, you can have your chai or coffee at 4:20, 4:30, something like that. So this is the best way so that you can reap the benefits of the chai, of the coffee, because they both have great antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. बशर्ते आपने सही क्वालिटी चूज किया है. सही क्वालिटी जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, it should be garden fresh, it should be something that you're procuring from the gardens of India, and so if you want to reap the benefits, then what the best thing is that you don't have it with your meals, you have it 20-25 minutes after your meals. That way it will not interfere with the nutritional absorption of your meal as well. Now the third point is the right quantity. What is the right quantity of tea? So the right quantity of tea is definitely only 1 to 2 cups a day, nothing more than that. A lot of people in the progress forms have written ki hum log we were so addicted to tea, but after starting the TBBD program, that addiction has gone away, that craving has gone away, and I'm they are actually living without tea throughout the day. So that's something which is very, very nice. 1 to 2 cups a day is fine. Don't overdo it. There's a saying which in Hindi we say कि हर चीज की अति बुरी, which means कि कोई अच्छी चीज को भी अगर आप overdo करोगे, it is going to harm you. And tea and coffee again comes into that category. If you're going to have something which is more than 2 cups of day, then what happens is it can create a lot of acidity, it can create insomnia, it can create a lot of other gastric distress, it can also start interfering with the nutritional absorption of your meals, and can not it can deprive you from all the nutrition that you will get with your food, with your meals. So therefore 1 to 2 cups a day is what you should be having, whether it's tea or coffee. Choose the right quality. Check for the timings. As I mentioned, it should not be first thing in the morning. The same thing is for coffee as well. Avoid it first thing in the morning. Avoid it post sunset. Okay, now the other question which few people were asking me, one was about adding milk to the chai or coffee, especially the participants of the 10 weeks of Yuktahar project, because in phase 1 and phase 2 of the TBBD, we are avoiding milk. Basically, we are avoiding lactose. Okay, so now the thing is that we are avoiding milk for phase 1 and phase 2 of TBBD for certain reasons. Those reasons are mentioned in the book, explained in great detail. So people who want to know why are we avoiding it, please go back to the book. And also you need to remember that we are not trying to avoid milk for for lifelong. We are avoiding it for 8 weeks, which is 2 weeks of phase 1 and 6 weeks of phase 2, and then we are going to reintroduce it back, and you're going to have it for the rest of your life. So that is one part. So you should try your best to stick to the TBBD protocol, because it's going to give you results like no other program possibly will. Having said that, if you really want to add something to your milk, you can go ahead and add nut milk. A lot of people have asked me in this progress form, even a few people have written in the comments about some lactose free milk. Now this lactose free milk is honestly, see, when you are having an almond milk, what is that? It's a lactose free milk. When you're adding coconut milk to the chai or coffee, it is again a lactose free milk. So we are giving a name to it, but in a sense, agar aap koi bhi nut milk dalte hain, it is a lactose free milk that you are adding. There are few people who asked me, what about soya milk? Soya milk is something that I'm not very, very great upon, because firstly, see, soya milk is something that we almost get it from outside, because it's little tricky to make it at home. So when we get it from outside, what I mean is when we purchase it commercially, the soya bean is something that is, little controversial ingredient, especially because outside India, it's a GM crop, it's a genetically modified crop. In India, of course, we do not have GM crops, at least till now, but what happens is when we get things commercially, we are also getting things from outside India, and therefore with soya bean, it becomes difficult to gauge whether your soya bean milk has been prepared using Indian soya beans, which will be non-GM, or it has been prepared using the other soya beans which are imported, and therefore they would be GM, which is genetically modified. Therefore, until and unless we are getting those desi soya beans and making some sabzi at home, I'm not a big fan of soya bean when we are getting it in a ready-made way. We are commercially purchasing it in the form of, say, milk or whatever. So that is one part of the question. The other part is, as I said, you can add any nut milk. The third part is where somebody is, asking me about lactose-free milk. Now, lactose-free milk, as I said, it comes in a Tetra Pak. Again, we do not know about the ingredients. Again, something which is coming in a Tetra Pak, you're not preparing it at home like a almond milk that you would prepare at home, or a coconut milk or a cashew milk that you would prepare at home. A lactose-free milk is essentially coming in a Tetra Pak. We do not know about the ingredients. It has a good shelf life, which reflects that there has been something added to sustain its shelf life. And for those reasons, I will say that it's better you go for a nut milk and not go for a lactose-free milk. Okay, so the other part is that people who want to add something to the chai or coffee in phase 1 and phase 2, please add the nut milk. And when you come to phase 3, of course, we are going to have your doodh wala chai and normal doodh wala coffee. Okay, now there are some people who said that we don't like the nut milk added to the chai coffee, and it is, giving me headaches. So there's somebody who has said that, which is fine. As I have always been saying in the program, to each his own. If you feel that you adding nut milk is not giving you any kind of satiety, if you feel that not putting that dairy milk into the chai or coffee and not having it is really causing a lot of distress, is causing headaches, then you go ahead and have that chai. You don't have to put any lactose-free milk, because then it's going to be even more harmful. I don't want you to go into something which is Nova ultra processed. So, remember the right quality part every time. So, we have to always weigh the pros and cons. There's a plus and minus. On one side, if there is a concern that if you're not having your doodh wala chai or coffee, it's giving you headache. On the other side, what you're choosing is a lactose-free milk, which is Nova Ultra Processed. Then I will say that, don't have the Nova Ultra Processed lactose-free Tetra Pak milk and just go ahead with your normal doodh wala chai. You can just have it once a day. If that soothes, that calms you, that gives you some sort of satiety throughout the day, then it's fine. You go ahead and then you can just kind of reaffirm to your own self that this is one thing that I am not following as per the TBBD protocol, but the other things is something that I'm going to stick very nicely, religiously, and follow it to a T. So that's completely fine. We can do those amendments according to how we feel. So that is another part of the question. So as I said, right quality, I'll just summarize this before leaving. Right quality, as I said, is always about getting it fresh from a garden, taking right quality. In fact, I'll share this thing that in Assam, Assam is a place where tea is grown, right? Everybody knows that Assam tea is very famous. So Assam mein jo tea growers hote hain, they do an auction. So they do an auction of the tea that they produce. And this auction may, they obviously they keep a price for the tea that they are producing, and then the tea traders buy that that chai patti that they grow, and it always makes headlines according to which tea was taken as the highest, as the most expensive tea. And you would be shocked to know that there is a tea which they call as Manohari Gold, because it gives a very yellowish gold color. When you make that tea, it's a yellow color, no green tea, nothing green tea doing. It's a yellow golden color. And last year it was sold for 1 lakh rupees a kg. So that's the kind, that's the kind of thing that we should think about food. Nowhere in the auction it is ever told that this tea is going to give you weight loss, this tea has antioxidants, and therefore we are selling it for 1 lakh a kg. No, they don't say that. The only criteria is there why the growers could sell it for something like 1 lakh a kg, simply because they said that the buds have been plucked and the entire process of plucking the leaves and then giving it, making a tea out of it, was completely handheld, which means that it was completely manual. So these are the things that people look after, people who are really tea lovers. These are the parameters that they look at: the flavor, the aroma, the body, the strength. So think about the tea in these terms. Manohar Gold, which I just told you about, it's not to tell you that you need to go and buy that expensive a tea. In fact, if you can, you should. But then what I'm just trying to say is that the last thing that we need to measure tea is the last parameter that we should use to measure a quality of tea is its weight loss capacity or its color or any of these things. We have to see how how meticulously they have produced it, how delicately they have handled it, what's the aroma, the flavor. So these are the things, when I say right quality, these are the things that you should look at. Even for coffee, don't go for that instant coffee. Instant coffee is again something which comes in the category of Nova ultra processed food. Why is that? It's because firstly, instant coffee, what is instant coffee in the first place? Instant coffee is something where you add the coffee powder, you add hot water, and your coffee is ready. So that's instant coffee. And instant coffee mein, number one, there is low quality beans which is used. That is the number one point. The other point is that in order to make that instant coffee powder where you just put water and the coffee is ready, what happens is that they have to add certain things. They have to actually process the entire thing. It goes through a massive processing and then it comes on the shelf. And that is how you are able to use it. It's actually a preserved form, and therefore it comes into the Nova category of ultra processed food. And again, when you have coffee, you should not be thinking about bullet coffee or green coffee and this coffee and that coffee. What you should just be thinking about is coffee which is of great quality. Coffee which is of great quality is again, which is if possible you get it from somebody you know. Kerala has a beautiful coffee farm. Many places in the south actually have these coffee farms, and it's pretty accessible these days. If you get online, you will know about these farms. You can buy it from them online, sitting in your house. And these are the kind of coffee powders that you should look at. So these coffee powders that I'm talking about, the good quality ones, are not the ones which are processed. They are not the instant coffee ones. They are actually just roasted, like the coffee bean is roasted first, and then simply after roasting, it's simply ground into a powder. And then when you make that coffee, you would not be just pouring hot water, but you will have to use either a French press machine or a mocha pot or a filter coffee, like how the South Indians make it. So anything of that sort, basically you have to invest some time into making that coffee. It will not be instantly made. And that's the kind of coffee powder, that's the right quality that you should be looking at. You don't have to bother yourself with any bullet coffee, green coffee, this and that coffee, as long as you know that you're having the finest quality of coffee powder. Again, with coffee, the right timing is, as I said, not early in the morning, not first thing in the morning, not after sunset. It has to be 20-25 minutes after a meal. The right quantity, as I said, is again 1 to 2 cups a day, nothing more than that, because then if you start overdoing it, uske sare benefits chale jayenge, and all you're going to get is a lot of acidity, insomnia, anxiety, stress, a lot of these things. So this is about tea and coffee. I tried to cover a lot of these points today, and also I tried to answer a lot of these comments which were there. And I'll just take the questions. Can we have coffee if we have severe acidity issues? Yes, you can have coffee. Of course, if you feel that it's coffee that is aggravating, because that's a personal thing, right? Acidity में बहुत बार ऐसा होता है that there are certain things that can aggravate acidity for a person individually, which is a very personal thing to look after. So until and unless you feel that it's coffee that is triggering it, of course then you should avoid coffee. But in general, if you just generally feel acidic or something, then you just have to look at the right quality. Don't have those instant coffee, because of course it messes with the gut bacteria and it is going to cause acidity. Don't have it at the right time, don't have it at the wrong timing, which is first thing in the morning after sunset. And don't overdo it. If you're just sticking to 1 cup or 2 cups a day, coffee is actually a great beverage. And somebody is asking me coffee or tea, which is better. So, I just wanted to say this one thing again, that again, we are saying coffee or tea, which is better. Again, like I said yesterday, it's like comparing apple or orange. Which one should I have, apple or orange? Actually, both are good. It really depends on what you like and what you enjoy having. So it's not about which is good, which is not good. Tea has always been prepared in our country using a lot of these herbs and spices. So हम उसको मसाला चाय में बनाते हैं. Like we put this dalchini, we put long, we put ginger, of course, and all of these spices together also have great anti-inflammatory benefits. That is the reason why chai was even introduced for the the athletes and the sportsmen, so that they can recover because of the anti-inflammatory benefits of the spices that go into the masala chai. And masala chai was actually introduced for the sportsmen and athletes during one of the Olympics, so that it helps them in muscle recovery and all of those things. The same goes for coffee. Coffee, again, in the south, if you go, they make something called a chukku kapi. I'm sure the South Indians know about it. And this chukku kapi is nothing but coffee. And in that coffee, what they do is they add different spices. So they would, again, probably add ginger, or somebody else, some other household would add a clove, or some other household would add some other spice. But the whole recipe is basically evolved because people feel that if you have this chukku kapi, it really helps them in sore throat, in cough, in cold, during monsoons, during winters. This is something that the South India household actually make on a daily basis and have. So if you really go beyond that weight loss, bullet coffee, matcha and this and that, you will really be able to scrape through the different traditions of our country, where they have been using tea and coffee in a very, very therapeutic way to get rid of many, many ailments. But then, as I said, what they have been keeping in mind is about the right quality. They don't use those big branded commercial ones which you find in the TV, or they don't even have it at a wrong time. They won't have it at 10 p.m. in the night, and they don't even overdo it. They use it as a therapeutic drink only once in a day, and this is how they use it, and that's pretty fascinating for me, at least. Then somebody is asking me about some supplement. Please advise if zinc And L-Glutamine can be done post-workout, and how long to be taken. Yes, so Sab Shanif is asking me about L-Glutamine and Zinc. So L-Glutamine and Zinc can be taken. So zinc is something that you should take towards the evening hours. The dose has been explained in the book in chapter 6. So I'll suggest that you go back to chapter 6. The dose has been given there. Zinc actually helps in body recovery, so it's better that you take it towards the evening hours. Now, if you work out in the evening hours itself, then of course you can take it post-evening. If suppose you work out in the morning, then I will suggest that you still keep zinc as an evening supplement and have it after dinner or after your evening meal, and not as post-workout if you work out in the morning. That is the part for the zinc. Now, L-Glutamine, again, it's a fantastic supplement for a lot of things. The benefits have been explained in chapter 6 in the book. So you can take that. The dose is 5 grams, again explained very well in the book. But yes, you can take it post-workout again. If you are taking the whey isolate post-workout, then you can mix the L-Glutamine in the whey isolate powder itself. If you're not taking the whey isolate, then it's fine. You can just have the L-Glutamine powder by itself in water, and you can have it post-workout. So I hope that answers your questions, Sanif. And I'll just take few more questions. Somebody is asking me, could you please guide? Okay, I'm sorry, I just lost the question. Could you please guide from where can we get garden fresh tea? Okay, so as I said, you know, tea garden fresh, firstly try to know ki kahan India mein gardens hain. So one is in Assam. Assam tea is known for its great strength. It's known as a tea which is very strong. If you come to my office in Mumbai in Bandra, what I'll offer to you is Assam Garden Tea, because that is what I enjoy having. And the speciality is that you just use a very tiny amount of that chai patti, and it gives a strong you know, taste, and it gives a strong aroma and even a strong color. Dazzling is there. So Dazzling tea is known as the champagne of teas, and it is basically known for its delicate flavor. Then there is Kangra Valley, there is Nilgiri. So you can just, you know, check online, and then if you just go on, you know, online and type Nilgiri tea or Dazzling tea or Assam tea, you will have a lot of these growers who you can, you know, speak to directly. So I will not be able to, you know, recommend brands here, but a little bit of search online can really help you there. Okay. Can we have half teaspoon of daru haldi and chitrak trifla rather than 1 teaspoon due to slight bitterness? Yes, you can have. Okay, and if we reboot 3-phase TB-BD program after 3 to 4 months, even then do we need to take herbal supplements? It is a matter of choice. When you again repeat the 3-phase TB-BD program, of course the supplements are again going to help you cleanse the stomach. It is going to, you know, completely reset the microbial balance all over again. So of course it is advisable, but if you don't feel like it, you can skip it. If you out of the 4 supplements, if you feel like having only a few, you like basically 1 or 2, then you can just stick to that as well. If you want to skip it completely, you can skip it completely. Okay, somebody is asking, Sayani Anjali, starting by next week, can I eat fruits and fresh vegetables in phase 1? Yes, so we already did one video on fruits and we did one live on vegetables. So I'll suggest that you please go back and check those videos. Fruits is not restricted in any of the phases. In fact, you should have a variety of them. So it is something that you don't have to restrict at all, irrespective of the phase that you're in. Vegetables in phase 1, there's, you know, just 6 to 7 vegetables that I ask you to restrict, which is mentioned in the book in chapter 5 in a table, I guess table 9, if I'm not wrong. So please go ahead and check the names of the vegetables. Other than those 6 to 7 vegetables, you're free to have all the other vegetables in phase 1. And in phase 2, you're free to have all kinds of vegetables. There's no restriction in any kind of vegetables in phase 2. Okay, so I think I'll just leave for now. And okay, so somebody is asking me, you suggested Chukku Kapi to Tapsi also during Rashmi Rocket. Yes, I did, because when we were shooting in Ranchi for Rashmi Rocket for her schedules where she was racing, so wherever you see she's in a stadium in the movie where she's running in a stadium setup, it was the place was Ranchi, and we were doing this schedule in the month of December, and it was pretty cold over there. So you know, I had suggested this to Kukapi, and just to, you know, kind of help her with her muscle inflammations, if any, because she was doing a lot of retakes and she was running throughout the day, and because it was pretty cold, it was also helping to keep her body warm. And it actually became such a huge hit in the sets that, you know, every second person was having Chuku Kapi. We literally had a person make it in the set, and he was carrying like a huge thermos, and he was actually giving that Chuku Kapi to each and every person because everybody just loved this. Okay. So just this last thing I'll take and I'll leave. So Jyoti Bhangre is asking, where can we see your live videos if in case we missed? So you can see all the live videos on my YouTube channel, and if you're following me on Instagram, then the best is that you go on the highlights. The highlights are these circular things that you will see on the top of my profile page, and you will select the highlight which has the title 10-week project. So when you go on the 10-week project highlight, you will have all the videos over there, and you can just click on them and you can just keep watching them. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Please fill up the form. The week 4 progress form is in the link. It is in the link is in the bio on my Instagram bio. The link is also in the stories. So please go ahead, fill up the progress form. You know why do you have to fill it up now. It's been 4 weeks that we have been together. And also do let me know if you have any questions for Dr. Ravi Moose, who is the expert for Tomorrow Expert Talk series. He's an Ayurvedic doctor of great reputation, and if you want to know more about him, check out my post. If you have any questions for him, then leave the question in the comments. Thank you so much.